This business is like the Wild West. Gold, silver, rare coins, lost treasures of history. You never know what's gonna walk through that door. Okay, so you got 130 bucks here. Watch this. I'm Evan Kale, and this is Pawn Man. You guys, we got a great episode in store for you, but before we get into the fun stuff, I want to thank my sponsor for the episode, The Gold Store, Coin and Jewelry in sunny Sarasota, Florida. Go check out their website, follow them on social media. I do a lot of business with them. They are the Sarasota area's leader in gold, silver, coins, jewelry, all the stuff I do, but not in Minnesota, down there in Florida. So if you're in the Sarasota area, go check them out. They buy and sell. They have a great website. Give them a call for a price quote or stop into their store during business hours. With that, you guys, let's get into the episode. We got a watch coming in right now. Like I said, I'm appointment only. Guarantee whatever this guy has, he's not gonna like my offer, because 99% of the time with watches is people that bought it brand new for retail. It's like jewelry, and heartbroken when I offer them. Let's take a look.
No, it's 14 karat gold and whatever, so I'll just you tell me what you think is going on there.
It says 14 karat gold?
Yeah, the band is, and then the back of it is too.
Family watch? Family watch?
Yeah.
Do you have a price in mind?
Not really. I mean,
It's hard to factor with a watch like that without ripping it apart.
Right.
Because the movement is not gold, but
Right.
I think the rest of it is.
Yeah. You had somebody offer 900 for it.
900 is what somebody offered you?
Yeah.
I'd go 11. I don't think I could get hurt at 11.
I would do 11 for sure.
Okay. All right, I'll do 1100.
Okay. Cool.
I just need an ID.
Yep.
Oh, I stand corrected. I did not think he was going to do that. So, looking this up on eBay, these watches are going from anywhere from 1,700 to 2,000. This one is in really good shape. So it works. It's vintage from the 50s. It is in excellent shape. It's not like a top tier premium brand watch, but it is pretty nice. And when I see watches like this, I never see them 14 karat gold throughout. The band is, the bracelet is, the latch is, even the dial turn here is. So the only thing that's not gold is the glass and the movement. It weighs 61.9 grams. I guessed 50 grams when factoring the weight, the gold melt. So if I were to smash this thing open right now, I'd probably get $1,300 or $1,400, but I'd rather hold out because it works and it's in such great condition. I'm gonna throw it on eBay for $2,000. We'll see what happens. Okay, how do I say this in a way that doesn't make me sound like a total jackass? Well, I guess there's not. I'm gonna just sound like a total jackass. I have noticed, due to the influx of traffic that I have had, the amount of dumb people I'm dealing with is like, and I think it's just because I'm dealing with so many more people, there's just the higher odds are that somebody's an idiot. But like, holy shit, I've dealt with so many stupid questions and comments, and like, here, look at this. I think part of it's just my human factor, because it's like, I am one person. I am dealing with so much crap at once, but like, okay, this person advertises me a glass plate, and I'm like, sorry, I don't do glass china. And then they advertise me another one, like, what about this? Like, did you not just see that I said I don't do it? Well, unfortunately, this just sold. This is my most expensive Pokemon card, and I am sad to see it go. I took $905 for it on eBay. I had it advertised at $1,000, so I took best offer after eBay fees and shipping. $736 is what I'm left with. I am literally converting this to silver. I just sent my guy out. He's picking up silver for a customer right now, and he's gonna get me a kilo bar. So this is turning into a kilo of silver, which is, I think, a better idea. But it is unfortunate to see this one go, just because I treasured this one so much. It's a PSA 6 first edition holograph Blastoise. I originally had a first edition holograph Venusaur, and it was not in as good a condition as this one, and I traded it to my neighbor down the street, and I remember we originally paid $25 for that Venusaur. So 25 in, 736 out. Not bad, but I'll tell you guys, with Pokemon, as a lot of you know, because I've faced some criticism for not knowing everything, because, you know, that's what I'm supposed to do, is just know everything. I'm good-ish with Pokemon. I'm not great. I've made some mistakes. I've also done okay in some arenas. Here's what scares me about Pokemon. I have seen videos of people that have hordes that if they sold all of them, they would single-handedly rock the markets. They might even tank them. They have that many cards. There are enough private collections out there that are either not well-known or just they've been out there for a while and they're not known to the public. And if people sold them, or the ones that are known, if these people liquidated their collections all at once, it could completely tank the market. So I think I'm better off putting my money in silver. I got a little something I want to talk about. So I get this question a lot. What is the worst person that I have to deal with in my line of work? There's two. People who are coming in here with engagement rings because they got ripped off. They almost always got ripped off. And I got to be the bearer of bad news that not only was their heart broken, their wallet was broken too, and they really got fucked through and through. So I don't like that because it's just an uncomfortable reaction I have to deal with. And like, you know, people just like, they always think that I'm trying to rip them off, and like, I'm not trying to fucking rip you off. You already got ripped off. I'm just the bearer of bad news. So that, but the worst thing, the one thing I really hate dealing with are Karens that come in here with high-end jewelry and they have an appraisal. If I hear the word, I have an appraisal, I think, fuck. Okay, you guys, you know what an appraisal slip is? It's to protect yourself after you purchase something in case it gets damaged or stolen when you need to replace it. An appraisal slip is an overly inflated opinion about what your shit is worth. I have never seen an appraisal slip that is actually reflective of what something is truly worth. It's just so that if it gets lost or stolen and you gotta, you know, do insurance and get paid, then you've got something to back it up. That's not a receipt. You need a special license to do appraisals. I don't do appraisals because I don't have a license and I don't want to get into that business and it's just a fucking mess. But the problem with appraisal slips is you are dealing with a Karen who is well-to-do, who has money, has a sense of entitlement, and has a massively unrealistic idea of what they think their shit is worth. And so they come in here with a ring that they have an appraisal slip for $9,000. It's a topaz ring, and it's like, you know, I'll give you $300. And they get so, and they think they're being so smart by leaving, and they're walking away from a trap. They know better than that, and it's like, no, lady, the trap was sprung on you 22 years ago when you paid $5,000 for that hideous thing at a jewelry store at the Galleria. I'm not the one laying the trap. I'm the one breaking it to you that you got stung by a trap 20-something years ago. They're the sovereign citizen. If I was a cop, they say if you're a cop, who's the worst person to pull over? Is it drug dealers or gangsters? No, it's sovereign citizens. They're the sovereign citizens of this business. Karens with appraisal slip jewelry. Just absolutely fucking hate them. Every single time. I can pick them out so much so that when they pull up here, before they've even got out of the car, I'm just glancing and just seeing the way they're conducting themselves getting out of the car. If they have like a jewelry box, then it's major. Oh, fuck.
It's stuff my grandmother gave me. All these rings back in the day.
Let's check them out. Quite an assortment of rings.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, these things gotta be, I don't know how old, you know, back in the 50s and 60s. Cocktail rings, isn't that what they used to call them?
For everything, including the pearl necklace, I'd be at $1,400.
Yeah, that would be
That works?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're not wearing it.
No, I mean, unfortunately, these things have been sitting in the drawer for years. I have other things in my grandma that's more important to me.
Sure.
These rings, I kind of forgot about.
Do you want cash or check?
Check would be fine, then I could just go to the bank. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you coming by.
Yeah, I appreciate
call me if anything else. I was honestly being pretty generous. We are going to scrap all these. I'll make about $300 off what I did. So yeah, these are all, I mean, this one, it might look really nice. It's very out of style. So we'll scrap these.
How's everybody today?
How you doing?
I got the big one for you.
Oh, you do?
I just finally realized there's just...
Oh, the diamond?
Yeah, it's just...
Okay.
I don't need it. I
Okay.
don't need it. There's no tie to it. So I had a couple other things that you had said you wanted that I want you to just double check. And then the opal was 75.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. There you go.
So $210, I'm gonna give you cash for these.
Perfect.
And then I'm gonna give you a check for this. That was interesting because both those people knew each other, and the second person she's I think the first big deal I did here on my own. It was like last June. I bought like $9,000 worth of jewelry from her. This is the diamond that I just bought from her. It's 2 carats. We just paid her $6,100, and well, let's see if we can flip it. All right, I got some more art for the store. Let's open it up. What did I think was inside? Like more stuff from Jose Trujillo. Isn't that cute? It's a bee. I like bees.
Not the bees! Ah!
Yeah, I'll keep this one for the store. Isn't that cute? It's very colorful and fun. So I think we'll put the new paintings right here. I think that's a good spot for them. I was gonna put them with the other one, but there's not a whole lot of room here with these pipes, so let's not break my neck. Let's briefly talk about Queen Elizabeth. So, and I think I answered this in my last video, or I said something about this. I've been getting a lot of questions since she just died. Are things with her face on them? Coins, currency, is that gonna go up in value? Probably not, because she is one of the longest reigning monarchs of modern age. She appears, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, 35 countries, at least, have Queen Elizabeth's face on it. So there's so much stuff that is out there with her face on it. It's been the case since 1952 when her reign began. We're talking all over the board. Jamaica, the Bahamas, South Africa, Australia, Fiji, Canada. That's just a drop in the bucket. So because there's so much stuff out there with her, just probably not. It's probably too common. What could go up in value, if you get something straight from the Royal Mint that is commemorating her life and death, they'll probably do some kind of a limited edition proof. That'll probably go up in value. But as far as like just regular coins with her face on them, no way. Couple interesting facts about Queen Elizabeth appearing on coins. She has had 5 different portraits done of her. Each time she has one of these portraits done, you know, it's a new kind of coin. When they put a new monarch on the coin, as they are going to now with the King of England, that they're facing for the portrait and then the coin changes. So as Elizabeth faced one direction, now the king will face a different direction. So of the 5 portraits, the first one was done in 1953. Photographer Dorothy Wilding did the portrait. The Royal Mint made a contest when she ascended to the throne. They had 17 sculptors vying to try and design this coin using the photo that was taken for the portrait. And in 1953, we got the first coin, the first portrait. Then again, in 1968, we got the next portrait. This one was done by Arnold Machen. The third portrait came in 1985 by Raphael Maklouf. The fourth portrait came in 1998 by Ian Rank Broadley. And then the last portrait came in 2015 by Jody Clark. So as far as commemoratives go with Queen Elizabeth, if it's coming from the Royal Mint, that's potentially something you could make money on, or it could go up in value. It'll probably be something pretty scarce, but you know, if you see something from like the Franklin Mint commemorating her in 14 karat gold or sterling silver, some bullshit like that, forget it. It's boomer shit. What does the process look like of refining it?
Pretty interesting. You know, you get a golden raw.
Do you have any documentation with refining?
No.
Yeah, so you guys see here, it's kind of disappearing, kind of holding, but I put 22 karat acid on it. It shouldn't have any kind of disintegration. That green color is not a good color. So what I gotta do, I gotta send you to somebody else because because it's handmade.
Okay.
I really can't do handmade stuff. It's really hard to test. I need an x-ray gun, and I know somebody who's got one. He can make you an offer.
Okay.
It's a $45,000 piece of equipment, and I'm pretty bare bones. What I do is, you know, I'll scratch it.
Okay.
I don't want to file into this, and you probably don't want me to file into this because I'll damage it.
Right.
And even if I did file into it, I still wouldn't be fully conclusive because I put 22 karat acid on it, but it's disappearing a little bit, but not completely.
Yeah.
So I just can't be sure of purity. I'm like not sure what's a fair price to even offer you.
Right.
So I'm gonna send
23 carats.
I'm gonna send you to this other guy, and if he makes you an offer, he'll give me a kickback. So I'm still gonna, because we have an arrangement. Okay.
Alrighty. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. No fucking way in hell was I going anywhere near that. Holy shit, that was 80 grams. That would have been a $4,000 mistake, if not. So let me show you why I didn't do that. Number one, I have been cautioned by so many people I work with, never buy gold from Africa. The purity, the inconsistency, the simple fact that there's not regulation in Africa like there is in other countries, like it's more Wild West, and therefore there's less of a certainty you know what you're getting, especially with like gemstones and stuff like that. Like when people come and they say, oh, I got these rare gems from like the coast of Africa. It's like, I don't know anything about that. I don't know if it's a good buy or not. I don't know, like. I have never seen this in my life, this kind of color from doing a rub test. This is bizarre. At best, it's like between 14 and 16 karat. At worst, the whole thing is plated, like really well plated.
Later.
Bye-bye. So, I was right. I just got a call from the refiner that I sent that guy to with the bracelet, and somebody got scammed there. Either he got scammed, the guy who brought me the bracelet, or he was trying to run a scam. It looked like it was about 22 karat, probably. My thought is, honestly, I think the x-ray gun is wrong. I think it's just really, really well plated, and it's plated, and it's shit on the inside, and it's probably like 15 or 14 karat, maybe. Or maybe it's some kind of fuse. I don't know. Like, something really weird was going on. But apparently, that guy bought that under the assumption that that weighed 7 pounds. Now, I don't know how you can feel something that clearly is not even 1 pound and think, oh, it's 7. But he got, I guess he had quite a reaction at the refiners that I sent him to, quite a loud and violent reaction, because he found out that he got scammed big time. He paid apparently 7 pounds worth of gold value on that, which, if I'm understanding this right, that guy got scammed to like the tune of like $180,000. If I'm understanding that right. Well, hey, you know what? That's as far as we go with this gig. All I could say, as far as I'm concerned, I made the right call, and you guys got to see something interesting and learn something. And shut up with your racism crap. If you hear the word Ghana, and it's involving gold or silver or gems, run like hell. Every time I've ever seen Ghana and gold, it's fake. It's plated. I mean, it's not to say it's not out there, but Ghana is a red flag. I said it. I'll say it again. Ghana's a red flag. All right, you guys, before we get into the episode, I sincerely want to thank my sponsor, the Gold Store Coin and Jewelry. Go visit their website or check out their store. They offer a wide variety of jewelry, coins, competitive prices. They buy and sell. I do a lot of business with them. They're great people. And with that, you guys, we are talking all about coin hoards and pedigrees. Now, you might be saying to yourself, what's a coin hoard or a pedigree? I thought the same thing too. It's one of those weird terms. In the field of numismatics, there's all kinds of weird terms, nomenclature that otherwise would seem strange. You just, in your mind, you see the word and you wouldn't think of it being applied to what its meaning is. And here we have pedigrees and hoards. They're terms used with coins. When I hear the word hoard, I think of orcs, because I'm a nerd that grew up playing Warhammer. No, we're not talking about orcs. When you look at slab coins, you might have noticed sometimes on the top of the slab, there's a lot more information than just what the coin is, what the date is, what the score is. That is what we're going to be talking about here today. If you've ever thought to yourself, well, it's probably just some boomer shit. You're not always right, you're not always wrong. Sometimes, but not always, that's the case. Sometimes these extra wording, these extra designations on the labels can be worth quite a lot of money. We've talked about it before with 9/11 recovery coins. That's a special designation. Same story with shipwreck coins. Again, they designate where it's from. This is what we're talking about today with pedigrees and hoards. Pedigree is a listing of previous and current owners, and a hoard is a notable collection, a large collection. Oftentimes, hoards are an accumulation of the same coin or the same kind of coin. Example, a hoard of Morgan silver dollars. It might be different years, but it's all the same kind of coin. They're all Morgans coming from this hoard. In the field of numismatics, we often discuss the importance of condition and rarity. Now, with a hoard, because they are so massive, they get their own designation. The rarity aspect, well, it can really come into play. When somebody goes to sell their hoard, if the hoard is big enough, the rarity on a coin might suddenly, maybe the hoard is not even known. And so suddenly the population, what people think is out there of a certain coin, with the discovery and sale of a hoard, suddenly that number changes. Suddenly that coin is not nearly as rare as it was before. Now, I don't think this is the case. My super rare coin from the 1400s that I have not sold yet, there may be more of them out there that are not known. And that is something to keep in mind with selling the coin, with why I think I'd rather sell it than chance keeping it for a long time. There could be 1,000 of them in one collection. I have no idea. I don't think so, but there could be. Same thing with Pokemon cards. It's one of the reasons why I'm selling off my Pokemon cards. These hoards are so massive, if they were all released at once, they could single-handedly capsize the entire Pokemon market. So one hoard that did capsize the market was the GSA hoard, which I actually have one on my showcase right now. You ever see these coins like this in the special packaging? It's from the GSA, the government auction. It was a treasury audit that was done. They discovered all these Morgan silver dollars that just weren't on the books, and they auctioned them off to the public. And overnight, it destroyed the Morgan silver dollar market, or I should say it destroyed the Carson City Morgan silver dollar market, because so many of them were dumped onto the public. In fact, most of what they had were 1884 Carson Cities, and that's become the most common Carson City now, is 1884, just because of this. Now, what's interesting, although this saturated the market, with 84 Carson cities and just Carson cities in general, they've held their premium. In fact, GSA Hoard Carson cities are still very sought after. People like them for the history, where they come from. It is an interesting aspect as far as numismatic history goes. And most of the coins in this hoard, they were in a treasury vault, so they were all uncirculated, so they're all in very good condition. Today, GSA Morgans go for at least $300. That's what I pay for them. Another famous hoard, and actually I have some right here, I'll show you guys in a minute. The Binion Hoard. This hoard had over 100,000 Morgan and Peace dollars. Ted Binion, rich guy, infatuated with silver, had a huge fondness for it. He had an underground vault built by a guy named Rick Tavish, and he was later murdered by his girlfriend who was having an affair with Tavish. The silver, he had so much of it from his hoard, and it was such a sensational story. This doesn't happen very often, but just in this one instance, we got a little sexy crime going on the slab. $3 million was what was paid for his hoard, and the whole hoard was encapsulated and registered by NGC. And so now the Binion hoard, these coins came from this rich guy who got murdered. Now what's interesting is most of these coins in his collection, they were stored as a commodity rather than as a, he wasn't storing them for the grade. So most of them are not in that grade of condition. And usually what happens when you have a hoard that's more about the hoard itself, where it came from, that aspect of the history, than the coin, what they'll do, and like they'll do this with 9/11 coins, they'll write gem uncirculated or brilliant uncirculated. They won't give it a score. They'll say it's in good condition or what kind of condition it's in, and then they'll designate something special where it's from, just to preserve the history. Now the difference between a hoard and a pedigree is a coin coming from a special person. And odds are when you have pedigree coins, it's gonna be a nicer coin because the person, they're more of an expert, they've chosen more carefully, their collection, it's renowned, and they obviously have the finest taste in the coins or whatever it is they have assembled. The most famed pedigree comes from Louis Eliasberg. It's the most comprehensive collection of US coins ever assembled. It has gone unmatched to this day, and it set a Guinness record. $44.9 million. He had several coins in the collection that went for a few million each. Another famous collection is the Garrett collection. It had the famed Brasher doubloon. That collection sold for $25 million. And in short, if you have a coin from one of these collections, just the fact that that coin was chosen to be amongst this collection can enhance the value on its own. Now, one thing to watch out for, there is boomer shit with pedigrees and hoards, and you do need to watch out for that. A great example I can think of, I just had it the other day, I had Harry Truman's grandson. So it has a fancy slab, and it had Truman, and it had his grandson's signature, but like, what's his grandson done? I can't think of it. It didn't occur to me that he had a grandson. It's like, yeah, I guess he did with it. Like, it wasn't very high up on my list of important American historical figures that are alive today. Anything with like a signature on it, it's a pedigree that is a little bit silly. Just watch out for this kind of stuff. If it seems gimmicky, it's probably boomer shit. It's easy to get taken advantage of on this kind of thing. There are some hoards and pedigrees out there though. If you know what you're doing, if you see it out there, you can make money. I mean, something like the Binion hoard, actually it does have a decent premium. I'm gonna keep one of these for myself, for my own collection. So that is the magic, and that's the magic. There it is. I needed my mojo back. The magic of pedigrees and hoards. The lesson here, if you murder your lover, you can make a great historic pedigree or hoard. So stab your lover and forever be commemorated in the field of numismatics. Alright guys, once again, I want to thank my sponsor, the Gold Store, Coin and Jewelry in sunny Sarasota, Florida. If you guys like this video, be sure you give it a thumbs up, hit that notification button so you guys know when new episodes of Pawn Man are coming out. Please become a Pawn Man sponsor or Patreon, it helps me out a ton. Follow me on social media at Pawn Man, get my books, and I will see you guys back here for another episode of Pawn Man. Later guys.